I was just asking these guys if you had played at the Rams before, and they reminded me that your first start, right?
My first start.
So what do you remember about that game?
We won.
What else? Anything else cool happen?
What did you say?
Did anything else stick out that you remember?
A welcome to the NFL moment. I think that was my first third down, and it was my first pass down, and it was a strip sack. Oh, gosh.
Sorry to bring that up. It was a
good.
long time ago.
You're good.
How do you build on a performance where you had just 3 incompletions?
We just continue to find ways that we build on the things that we did good in that game, and we continue to find ways to grow and in that sense, find other ways to run maybe similar routes or, how I'm sitting in the pocket and how I'm trying to read through progressions and whatnot. So I would say that's been something been working on.
I think it was like 9 different players touched the ball on Sunday. How much of a point of emphasis was it to implement that level of balance into this offense after 2 years where it seemed like it was just the game plan was Tyreek?
Mm-hmm. I would say we didn't go into the game saying, hey, we're going to need you to spread the ball around. We just went into the game with the mindset that this is the call, play the call out. If this is what you see, throw it. If not, then go through your progression. That was basically it. And I'm glad it worked out that way, that we got to spread the ball around to different guys.
I wanted to ask about the short pass game. I know a lot is always made about the big play with this offense, but how effective has that been for you guys, and how big will that be on Monday against another really good pass rush?
Yeah, that's been really effective these past couple weeks for us offensively, and I think what helps with that is the run game. We've been doing really well in our run game, and I think going into this week, it'll definitely help with the front that they have. They got some good guys in the front end and in the back end, and we'll see how they come out and play us, and then we'll adjust from there.
And with that, Devon has been so big in both the pass and run game. What have you seen from him and his growth and, I guess, versatility that he's brought?
Yeah, I would say the same thing that we all got to witness his first year with his versatility and playing in the backfield and going out wide has shown itself evident, and then it really helps when he's in the backfield and can run routes from the backfield as well, and you get the matchups that you like.
I think it was Calais Campbell who, said if you guys play the way you did against Buffalo, you can pretty much beat any NFL team, but that the margin of error is so thin now. So where is that fine line between, dare I say, playing guarded, not wanting to make a mistake, but also going all out because you got to win the way you know how to win?
I think it starts in practice and how we prepare with conversations you have as a leader of the defense, as a leader of the offense, as a leader of the team, having those conversations with the guys of what the expectation is, and continuing to harp on the guys to stay in it. Stay in it. We could be one game away from going on a streak, and hopefully turning this whole thing around. So I would say that's sort of the process.
Speaking of staying in it, these guys, everybody's banged up in the NFL. You were banged up a little bit. Guys have been out. What does it say about your team about these guys like an Alec Ingold or Jalen Waddle who battle in, but Agba, that they want to be in this despite what the record says right now?
Yeah, tough guys. You can tell that they love football. They want to be out there for their teammates. They want to be out there, to be able to help our team win games. And, you really can't say anything negative about guys like that. I mean, they're just football guys. They want to be out there regardless of what they're going through, whether they're playing at 60% or not. You just have nothing but respect for guys like that.
Tua, you talk about conversations. What do you get from what's the sense that you get from your teammates when you're having those conversations with them about the tough stretch that you're going through right now?
Say it again. Sorry.
Asking about the conversations. You talked about the conversations. What do you get from your teammates? What's the sense once you have those conversations? I imagine they are tough. It's a tough moment in the season.
Yeah, I would say a lot of guys that are on our team, they got some experience in this league, and some guys have actually gone through what we're going through now and have been able to turn it around. myself included. And, we all have different stories of what that looks like and the outcome of what can happen if you go on a streak, all these external things. But really, really, regardless of the experience and things that we share and whatnot, like we got to put the product out there on the field and win games. That's at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Do you believe that the success in the run game and the high completion percentage on the short range passes will at some point open up some of the more explosive 25-plus yard opportunities?
Well, I would say with the plays that have been given, we just run whatever's called. If Mike calls for a shot play and we check it down, that's just what the play entails for us to do. So it's not like we haven't been trying to stretch the ball down the field. That's just what the defenses have been showing us. And then there's some things on film that, look like, man, I could have hit this person, but sometimes it's not within our progression with what we talked about with how we would read it. So, yeah.
I asked you post game in Buffalo about your dive forward for the first down, and not to make a big deal out of every time you scramble and protect yourself, but
Yeah.
After you successfully slid the week before, but a different way to protect yourself. Similar play to the one you got hurt on, where you dive to the ground though instead.
Yeah. Just knowing the situation of the game, knowing the time, that if we didn't get that first down, that could potentially be the game. If Buffalo, played their cards right with the plays and allowed us to use all our timeouts and whatnot. So to me, it was important. Obviously, wouldn't have wanted to try to run somebody over or try to do that to get a first down. So as you can see, I sort of, as I'm scrambling to the right, I'm looking at the sticks so that I know where to dive. And so that's sort of what ended up happening on that play. And luckily we got it.
So with Tyreek, I think he's on pace for either career low or just lowest yards since his rookie year. It feels like the first time we haven't been talking about the 2K race.
Yeah.
But when we talk to Mike and Frank and Wes, like they say, he's doing X, Y, Z well. He's doing this. From your perspective, what does a guy like Tyreek do? Like, how does he positively impact the game, even when he's not getting these 180-yard, 3-touchdown games we've seen in the past?
Yeah, I think what's so cool is you turn that film on, you get to watch what him and 17 do with the blocking game or with the run game, and how they do blocking. I mean, they allow our runners some pretty big holes outside of the O-lineman, but I mean, those guys are getting to the second level quick, and I really think that it translates to the way that they play in the pass game as well. And that was something that we've been trying to find for those guys. And there were also some things where, if 10 was out, 17 was in, the chances, the DC could play the chances of it being more run than pass, and vice versa. If Reek is in, okay, maybe it's more pass than it is run, but those guys staying in the game, staying in the run, staying in the passes, I mean, it forces the DC to, okay, I'm going to play my cards here and just stay in a 2-shell. And if these guys want to go 15-yard drives or 15-play drives, to go score, like, we'll be fine with that. So it's sort of pick your poison.
How much is different in terms of the 2-shell that you're seeing now? Because, I would think that Tyreek has been double covered his whole life. But why does it look so different now?
I would say because it's variations of 2 high coverages with what guys want to do into the boundary, or if Reek is into the boundary, what they want to do to Reek versus what they do to Waddle. And then backside looks, some teams play 2-man while they're playing zone on the front. So, it's just different ways they try to get to their 2 high against us.
So kind of following up on the blocking, where you're saying about them blocking, was there any moment over the past 3 years, or maybe even this year, a specific block that you remember where you're like, oh, damn, he's pretty efficient at this? Like, for somebody who's 5'9", 5'10", like, he can actually get this done.
I think it was throughout the 5-week stretch that I was out that I've heard conversations with 10 and 17, talking about, like, a mindset that, like, okay, if we can't get the ball down the field or if we're not getting the ball, like how can we help the team like with what we have right now? And so I would say it was more so of a mindset that when we came back, or when I came back for the Cardinals game, I mean, that like it just felt different with those guys. They were in more, the efficiency went up with the run game, the efficiency went up with the passing game as well. And it's, you know, it's due to everyone, but those guys definitely play a big role in that.
With the offensive line, obviously they're had a lot of criticism coming into this season. What kind of growth have you seen from that unit as a whole?
I would say those guys have never blinked and never really wavered from what they said they wanted to do this season. Obviously, it's different when your quarterback goes out, hearing cadences, hearing different guys in the huddle. Things can get, you know, a little dicey, especially in loud environments. So it's, wait, did I hear this run or did I hear that run? Like, all right, communication. Oh, the snap's going. So I would say they haven't wavered. They've been in their playbook. They've been doing their thing, and I mean I'm super excited for them. I think they've done a great job, up to this point, and they're only going to get better.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.